The Toastmasters promise. I'll read out. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, we all promise, I promise, to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits of Toastmasters International offers, to adhere to guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, to act within the Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. The Toastmasters mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater confidence and personal growth. That is our mission as a club. So 1 minute, I need to stop. Okay. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, please.
Yes, we can. But the mission statement is tilting towards your right.
Today's meeting theme is all about rising above limits. Can we all chorus it? Can you say in the chat room, rising above limits? Rising above limits. Can you say that?
Rising above limits.
Great. I would quickly like to mention at this point, I want us to just try to recall situations in our lives. For example, in the corporate world, I would like to make an example. In the corporate world, every year an organization would come up with its corporate objectives. Just like we also come up with New Year resolutions. Now, in the corporate world, they come up with corporate objectives to say, this is our goal for the year. We want to increase revenue by this percentage. We want to reduce the cost of production by this percentage. We want to ensure the efficiency of our processes and procedure by doing 1, 2, 3. We also want to ensure people are well taken care of. So HR processes will be done, increase of salary. Those are all goals for the corporate objectives. And we have that same goals for ourselves as individuals. From time to time, we can tweak it to say, I want to become a better speaker by joining Toastmasters and delivering 2 speeches every month, 4 speeches every month. I want to be able to write a better speech. I want to become a better version of myself. And those are all goals. But how do we evaluate ourselves from time to time? In the corporate world, there are metrics called the KPI, the key performance indicator. So that helps the organization evaluate where they are currently and where they want to be in the coming months. And it's the same thing for us as individuals. We assess ourselves and say, this is where I am currently in my revenue. This is where I am in my personal development, and this is where I want to be. So how do you rise above your limits? You understand where you are, but how do you rise? It's by taking action. It's by executing your dreams. It's by having accountability partners who will hold you through the journey. And that's where Toastmasters come in. You already have a goal that you want to build your skills. You're already at Toastmasters. You're already taking those pathway educational program, tutorials, the program, you're delivering speeches, and you also have accountability partners to hold you accountable through the process. Those are practical steps in which you take to rise above your limits. There's no limit for you. It's just for you to continue to grow and expand with what you have set your heart and your hands to do. That is just my opening remarks for this meeting. I'm not going to be talking too much at this point. I'm just going to leave the virtual podium to the Toastmaster of the day. It would explain to you more about Toastmasters. It will explain to you the sessions that we are going to have today. He is the compere of this meeting. He is the MC, and that person is my namesake. His name is Toastmaster Imogeme. He is fantastic. He's an eloquent speaker. He's someone who we call the pain doctor. When it comes to emotional intelligence, he is the guru. When it comes to that, he's a speaker, he's an author, he's everything. He's a trainer. And so the next voice you would hear is that of my friend, my colleague, and my mentor as well, because he's always holding my hands through this Toastmasters journey. Toastmaster Tosin Imogeme, it's over to you. Please, emoticons, please warmly welcome him. Emoticons, please welcome him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening from the city of Lagos. Please, can we appreciate our president, the numero uno of this great, fantastic, magnificent club, Toastmaster Tosin or Akimbody. She's, of course, my namesake, and I always feel delighted, every time I get to speak with her. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasant pleasure as well as a privilege to serve as your Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster of the day is synonymous with your pilot, your master of ceremonies, and trust me, I can bet you're going to have a smooth ride today. Before we proceed, I'd love to state a few ground rules because, of course, we need to have a smooth journey. So first things first, please mute your microphones. Mute your microphones, mute your mics if you're not speaking, so we can have decorum. Secondly, as the president has rightly guided you earlier on, I implore you all to use the chat box when and where necessary. Please, for every speaker who graces the lectern to speak, it takes a whole lot. It takes courage to speak, and all you need to do to encourage them is just to share a few words, kind words. It was Mother Teresa who said, kind words do not cost much, but yet they accomplish much. Someone says, kind words may not cost so much, but their echoes are endless. So please appreciate everyone who graces the lectern. And then thirdly, clapping is our culture here at Toastmasters. Just tied to the second point, clapping is our culture. So, of course, you can use the emoticons to appreciate everyone who uses the lectern. And finally, like I often say, you know where the convenience is. I shouldn't narrate where, or I shouldn't describe where the convenience is for you. You know your way around. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Toastmasters officially. One of my favorite quotes says, find a man who is skilled at what he does, and he shall stand before kings and not meh or mean men. So if I'm that skilled man standing or speaking before you, it means that I'm speaking with presidents, governors, ambassadors, great men and women. So if you strongly believe you're that person, please go to the chat box and tell me how you feel being at Tutors and Trainers Toastmasters Club. Go to the chat box now and tell me in one word, tell me how you feel. Are you excited? Are you thrilled? Are you getting entertained? Go to the chat box and let me see. Let me be sure that you are excited. Please, I'm watching, I'm looking at the chat box. I can't see anyone's response. Please, beautiful, awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, I can see your responses. So what is Toastmasters International? If you're joining for the very first time, Toastmasters International is a non-for-profit organization that does three basic things. I call them PLC: public speaking, leadership, and communication. Toastmasters International came up with this statistic that 75% of the world's population are glossophobic. It means that 3 out of every 4 persons are scared to speak in public. You know, it was Plato who said, we can forgive a child who is afraid of the dark, but the challenge or the tragedy of our times is that men are afraid of the light. And what is that light? The spotlight. The moment you're asked to come speak in public, we freeze. And Toastmasters is that cure. Toastmasters is that antidote to solving your problem. The next is leadership. You know, I said PLC. Of course, speakers are leaders. One of the great hallmarks of a great leader is to be a good speaker. And here you also be groomed to becoming a great leader. And finally, communication. So it was founded in 1924, meaning we're over a century old. And it's one of the greatest decisions I've ever made in my life. I often say that there are 3 reasons, so there are 3 great days in man's life. The day he's born, the day he discovered Toastmasters.
Yes.
The day he's born, the day he discovers why he's born, and the day he discovers Toastmasters. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is almost time. I'd love to implore you as your captain. I'm your captain for this flight, and our flight destination is our theme of the day: rising above limit. So before takeoff, just kindly fasten your seatbelts, put your phones on silent, and most importantly, open your minds. You see, we're going to have turbulence, but the truth is, it's not a sign that we're going down. Sometimes it could be that we are going up. So prepare to participate, prepare to learn, prepare to rise. The runway is clear as I can see it, and the engines are running. Now it's about time to introduce someone we usually call the general evaluator, because the truth is that Toastmasters, we say that feedback is the breakfast of champions. If a mistake is not a stepping stone, then it is a mistake. But for every mistake we make here at Toastmasters, our general evaluator makes it a stepping stone through his or her feedback. And of course, he's definitely going to have a team who she'll be working with. So he's our general evaluator. Just a moment. Put up. Let me formally introduce her. Just a moment. Oh, Madam President, could you just put up the PowerPoint so I could see it and read directly? And if not, I'll just use my phone. All right, I have it here. Our general evaluator is none other than a woman named Toastmaster Chika Ezeanya. She is a social worker and she's from Surulere Toastmasters Club. Her hobbies include dancing, hairdressing, music, and social work. She believes in giving with love. And her favorite quote says, in the end, it's not how much we give, but how much love we put in the giving. Ladies and gentlemen, with a virtual round of applause, let's make welcome our general evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Chika Ezeanya. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I welcome all of us to today's meeting, and I say good evening to everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
I don't know if you can hear me, our Toastmaster of the
Absolutely.
day.
Loud and
Thank
clear.
you.
Loud and clear.
We
Thank
can
you.
hear you.
Thank you. I'm so excited in today's meeting to serve as the general evaluator. And my role is to ensure that I oversee the entire meeting. In today's meeting, I'll take notes of what happened and what did not happen. And at the end of the meeting, I will come back to give my report. My job is not over until I introduce people who will be working with me. These individuals are known as tag teams. The timer, the accountant, the grammarian, the listening evaluator or quiz master. But before I introduce my tag team, I would love to remind us a famous quote. We all know this quote and we're familiar with it in Toastmasters, and that is feedback. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. It was said by a famous personality, Ken Blanchard. I would love to introduce my first team member, who is the grammarian. He is an investment professional. His hobbies are listening to music, creating good music, and reading. His favorite quote is, excellence is doing ordinary things. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So I'll go over again to introduce our grammarian. Who is our grammarian? He's an investment professional by occupation. His hobbies are listening, creating music, and reading. His favorite mantra is, excellence is doing extraordinary things. Excellence is doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. Let's make welcome our grammarian for today's meeting, Toastmaster Moses. A virtual round of applause as he comes up to the virtual space. Over to you, our grammarian. Over to you, our grammarian. Is he speaking?
Thank you so much, our general evaluator. Please confirm you can
Thank
hear me,
you.
everyone. All right.
Loud and clear.
Nice. Thank you. In the words of famous Rudyard Kipling, it says, words are of course the most powerful drug used by mankind. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's my honor to be here. Please permit me to be your grammarian for today's meeting. In my role as a grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listen carefully to the use of language. I'll take note of any distinct use of the English language. Our word for the day is laudable. Everyone, please say it after me. Laudable.
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 Laudable means worthy of praise, commendation, deserving of approval, or admiration. Synonyms include commendable, praiseworthy, admirable, creditable, meritorious. Examples of the word include her decision to give that speech, despite our anxiety, was laudable. Another example is, it's a laudable goal to seek feedback and act on it consistently. The third example I have here is, the club's commitment to pushing members beyond their limits is laudable. Its courage in delivering that speech was laudable. Every member here shows a laudable dedication to personal growth. My charge for you today is, as you go about your speeches, please do ensure to use the word of the day, laudable. And everyone who uses this word will celebrate it laudably. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, our general evaluator, TM Chika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Moses, our grammarian, for that introduction. Please let's all remember to use the word of the day, laudable. And when we hear someone make use of the word of the day, let's try to use our reaction buttons, the emoticon buttons. We can either use the thumbs up or whichever that we choose to use. I would love to introduce the next person on my tag team. He is someone who will help us manage time in today's meeting. He is a medical doctor by occupation. He is a member of Tutors and Trainers Club, and he is the current vice president membership of the club. His hobbies are volunteering and playing guitar, and his favorite mantra is just do it. Let's make welcome our timer, Toastmaster Korode Adekanye, to the virtual space as he introduces his role. Over to you, our timer.
Thank you very kindly, Madam General Evaluator. Pleasure to be here today, and good day, everyone. I hope you are having an amazing Sunday afternoon. So,
Yes.
as the timer in today's meeting, my role is to help us steward our time effectively. As we know, every time wasted can never be regained, so I will be ensuring that we don't go overboard with each segment of the meeting. I will be doing this by timing every table topic and prepared speakers, the evaluations as well. Now, for the table topics, the allotted time per speaker is 1 to 2 minutes. On the 1 minute mark, I would display a green card in my background like so. On the 2 minute mark, on the 1 minute 30 seconds mark, pardon, I will display the yellow background, the yellow card in my background like so. And on the 2 minute mark, I will display the red card in my background like so. All right. Now, for the other speeches, the prepared speeches, the time allotted for prepared speeches are 4 to 6 minutes for an icebreaker and 5 to 7 minutes for a regular speech. Now, on the 4 minutes or the 5 minutes mark, I will display the green card on my background. On the 5 minute mark for the icebreaker, I will display the yellow card. And on the 6 minute mark, I will display the red card. And for the evaluations, which I'll also be timing, for the table topics and speech evaluations, each evaluator has 4 to 5 minutes to deliver the evaluations. So I'll also be displaying the cards as necessary. At the end of each segment, I'll come back to present my timing report for each segment. Thank you, and it's over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, our timer, for explaining your role. Thank you. I would love to introduce the next person on my tag team, who will help us account for everything in for most of our today's meeting. He is our accountant. He's also a banker by occupation, and he is a member of Tutors and Trainers Club. He's also the treasurer. His hobbies are watching and analyzing football, watching movies, reading and watching the news. Let's make welcome our accountant, no other person than Toastmaster Christian Okoro. A virtual round of applause for him as he comes up to the virtual lesson. Over to you, our accountant.
Thank you very kindly, General Evaluator. Good
Thank
evening,
you.
Toastmasters and distinguished guests.
Good
The
evening.
purpose of our counter is to take note of words and sounds that are used as crutch and pause fillers by anyone during the speech, during the meeting. During the meeting, I'll be listening to the use of words like so and also, when including. I'll also be taking notes of use of filler sounds like or during the speech. So at the end of the meeting, I will be giving my reports of how each speaker felt and the number of times, if anyone used any of these fillers, words, first fillers. Thank you, and back to General Evaluator.
Thank you, our accountant, for warmly explaining your role. Thank you. I would love to introduce the last person on my tag team. This person will be listening to us throughout the meeting, and she will be testing our listening ability. She is a customer experience manager by occupation. She is a president of which club? Victoria Bay. Her pathway, she's currently under the pathway of the presentation mastery. Her hobbies are reading, eating, and making healthy food. And I would love to welcome our quiz master slash listening evaluator for today's meeting. No other person than Toastmaster Hannah Afolabi. Sorry, someone speaking.
I thought I heard something also, but I would just go ahead. Jolly,
Okay,
good
over to you.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Jolly, good afternoon, everyone. It feels so good to be
Good
here again.
afternoon.
I usually enjoy my time in Tutors and Trainers meeting. I'll be playing the role of the listening evaluator. As the word of the day, which says laudable, at the end of the meeting, I'll be coming back to see how well we have used the how well we have listened to in the course of the meeting. I'll be testing our listening skills and giving us laudable applause to know if we have actually been listening and if our presence is really in the meeting and not doing something else. So thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, quiz master and listening evaluator, for your wonderful introduction of your role. Thank you to all my tag team. And towards the end of the meeting, we'll return to give our report. So I just want to make mention of two things. If you're a role player in this meeting, please, if you have not renamed yourself, please kindly do so. Then secondly, the timer. Please let the Zoom master pin the timer so that everyone will be aware of the timer. And that is it. It is here I hand back to the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Tosin. I don't know. The Toastmaster of the day. Over to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, General Evaluator. That was absolutely laudable. Before we proceed, please, let's all use the word of the day. Go to the chat box and you could type in a sentence or just the word of the day. I want to ensure that we all use the word of the day. So please go to the chat box and let's begin to type in the word of the day, laudable. Except you don't believe that their presentation were laudable. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've all heard the general evaluation, the general evaluators. You know, the trouble with us is we live in a world where we'd rather be ruined with praise than to be saved by criticism. And over here, we don't criticize, we give you constructive feedback to help you catalyze your growth. And it is really done in a friendly way. So we're going to come back at the end of the meeting to get the feedback of our general evaluators. Every typical Toastmasters meeting is divided into three. We have the first is the table topic session, which is the extemporaneous or impromptu speeches. The second is the prepared speeches, where we have official or bona fide Toastmasters come give their speeches. And then finally, which is usually my favorite part, the evaluation segment. So we're going to be moving right to the table topics segment. There's a quote that says, the brain of humans starts to work the moment we're born, but only stops the moment you're asked to give a speech in public. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the moment where we all freeze. In fact, they say when people attend a burial ceremony and they are called to come give an eulogy, people would rather be the one that is being buried. They would rather be the one in the casket than come out and stand to speak in public. That's how bad it is. And this session teaches us how to think quickly. It teaches us quick thinking skills. And we have a fine gentleman in the house who is going to be leading us in that aspect. Please, can you put up his profile so that I may, Madam Zoom Master, please. Okay, if you're not, I'll just read from my phone. Table Topics Master is a fine gentleman named Toastmaster Taiwo Dada. He is a digital expert and data analyst, and a bona fide member of this prestigious club, Tutors and Trainers Toastmasters Club. He is also on the pathway of presentation mastery. Ladies and gentlemen, with a virtual round of applause, let's make welcome, because if you don't cheer this man, if you don't clap him, he's perhaps going to call you to come and give a table topic speech. So please be nice with this gentleman, because he's going to be our leader. Ladies and gentlemen, with a warm round of applause, let's make welcome our table topics master, Toastmaster Taiwo Dada. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, my honorable Toastmaster of the day. A very big thank you for that laudable introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, our guests, and distinguished Toastmasters here today. Churchill Wilson once said, "It takes courage to stand up and speak, and it also takes courage to sit down and listen." Today, I will be playing the role of the table topics master, and my duty is to call on anyone I choose to. And whenever I call on you, I'll give you a question. You have 1 to 2 minutes to respond to the question by giving a speech. We normally do, it is a tradition. I will first like to call on a Toastmaster, someone that has always been part of us. So we see the experience as a guest amongst us today. Then from there, you can pick one or two ideas in order to also give your speech. So if people to confirm if you can hear me. Please, I'd like to confirm if you can hear
Yes, we
me.
can. We can
Thank you
hear
so
you.
much. Thank you very much. Thank you so kindly. So I have 3 questions and I'll be calling on 3 people in order to save our time. I have limited time here. So let me see. Please, once I call you, just unmute. Then I'll share my screen. You pick your question and I read the question out. Thank you. Okay. I'd like to call on. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Equichi James. Equichi James.
Yes, I'm right here.
Please, I'd like to confirm if you are a Toastmaster or a guest.
I am a Toastmaster.
Great, great, great. Thank you so much. So let me share my screen. I'm sharing my screen now. Okay. Okay. Please, can you
It's
see my
still
screen?
loading. Not yet. Okay,
Not yet.
now I can.
You can see
Absolutely.
my
Now I
screen.
can. Yes,
Okay.
I can.
Good. So please, I have more questions, but from question 1 to 5, kindly choose one.
All right. I'll choose 5. I was born on the
You
5th
choose
of
5.
October, so I love
Okay.
5, the number 5.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Good. So here we are. Okay. Please, can you see the question?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. If you could master any skill overnight, what will it be? You have the virtual podium now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Table Topics Master. If I could master any skill overnight, what would it be? We live in a world that is bedazzled with lots and lots of skills. But if I were to answer this question, one laudable skill that I, over the past years, have always envied and would love to learn would be the skill of of social being a social media influencer. I've always wondered how they did it. I know I love to talk. I know I have the ability to convince people. I know I have the ability to hold a crowd. But there's one thing that I find very interesting, how people pick up their cameras and vlog their entire lives on social media. They're not tired. They're not weary. No breaks. They seem fine. Come with me as I go to the market. Hello, guys. Come with me as I enter into the bookshop. Come with me as I go for my dentist appointment. There is always something that they're doing, and they're taking the rest of the world along with them. To be honest, if I could keep people glued to the screen for that long, I would love that. That's a very laudable skill to have. And I believe that it would ensure that I have people monitoring me. Oh, but on the flip side, would I really want people in my life 24 hours? That's the question for thought. But to answer your question, if I could learn one skill overnight, it would be the skill of becoming a social media influencer. Thank you, and it's back to you, the Table Topics Master.
That was a very laudable performance. Well done, Toastmaster Equichi James. Well done, that was laudable. Please, I would like to call on the next person, or kindly raise your hand if you would like to speak, or if you want me to call you. Please, some people are not actually using their names; they are using numbers and phone and email or such. Oh, please, I'd like to call on Basi. Kindly unmute your device so you can speak. Basi, please.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Please, I'd like to confirm, are you a Toastmaster or a guest?
I'm a guest.
You are a guest. Oh, lovely. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes, thank
I
you.
hope you saw the first performance.
Yes, I do.
Are you ready for yours?
Let me try.
Oh, great. Great. So, number 5 is taken. Kindly choose from
Okay.
1 to 4.
Let me do number 3.
Number 3. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And here comes number 3. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So the question says, what will you change about our school system? If you have the power to change anything about our school system, what will you change? You have the virtual podium now. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, the table top master. Good evening, everyone. What is that thing? What will I like? What will I change about school system? Okay. I think I want to change this issue of nursery to primary, like crèche or something. Because what schools are doing nowadays, they will take our kindergarten that they are kids, they'll charge a very huge amount of money. If you get those prices, I know it's 100,000, 150,000 for a crèche. What are they teaching them? I can literally buy a television and put the all this what do they call it? All these children videos and all that for them to pick from there. I can do it in my home. But when you're paying this kind of amount of money, 150,000, these guys will just put that same video for them to be watching. I don't know if they'll still collect your money and they'll tell you, oh, it's the sections and all that. I don't know. I think that one is too much. If I have opportunity to change that, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just put a stop to it. Let them put them in proper class and teach them the proper thing and let them move from that class to another class. If I have opportunity, that's what I will do. Because this is a personal experience that I'm going through with my son, paying that kind of amount of money for a crèche. It's crazy. It's crazy. Believe the government should do something about it. Thank you. I know everybody you can relate with this as well too. Please, if we have a voice, let's speak up. And secondly, another thing that I want to change is, oh, because back then in our days, if you use any textbook, you can pass it to the next person that will still attend that same class. But these days, what these guys are doing, they will make sure that nobody can use that same book again. Nobody. You see, any class they're going into, they still have to buy another book. So if I have opportunity, this is the things that I want government to look into it. Let's go back to our old way of doing things, our educations. My brother used textbook, I pass it to me, I used. I also use that same book, I pass it to one of my brother. So these days, these things are not happening. School deliberately print a book that, a textbook, after that section, you don't need that book again, you need to buy another one. So it's a problem, it's a bottleneck, and I know parents are going through a lot. They should do something about it, please. Thank you.
Wow, that was a laudable speech. It was a very laudable performance, and I give it to you. Kudos, kudos. Okay, well, thank you very much, our guest. Thank you so much. And I would like to call on my next speaker. Okay, please. Okay, let me know if you are still here. Okay, yes. Chinelo Ukuli, please kindly unmute your device.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Okay. Thank you. Apologies. I think I clicked on something. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm trying to share my screen again. Okay. Please, are you a Toastmaster or a guest?
I'm a Toastmaster.
Oh, good. We're happy to still have you.
Okay, do you have a question for me or am I meant to respond?
Please, you'll be the last. I'm trying to share my screen again. I don't know what happened. It's not. Please kindly confirm if you can see it there.
I can see your screen, but it's showing the last question that was responded to. What
Last
would
question.
change about our school system?
Oh. Okay, yeah, thank you. Now I can see it. Please, question 1 available, question 2 available, and question 4 available.
Question 4.
Question 4. Okay, thank you. Yes, this is question 4. Please, can you see it? It says, what will you do if you woke up one day with superpowers?
Yeah, thank you for that interesting question. So, if I were to wake up one day and I found out that I had superpowers, I think what I would love to do is to first solve the immediate problems I see in Nigeria as it stands. I see that I've come to realize that a lot of people's problems is not necessarily because they do not have great ideas or initiatives as Nigerians. Probably there's not necessarily enough system to encourage them to go after what they really love. I would then, I don't know, because it's superpower, maybe get into the minds of our leaders and get them to see the actual problem they should be solving, like providing actual employment or fixing the road, or probably just like the last speaker said, changing the education system and making it more realistic to fit the job market, right? And so I basically would take my time to convince the leaders the need for them to solve actual problems. And when it comes to my personal self, I think I would just love to be able to multitask because I have so many things I love to do. I have a lot of ideas in my head, and just being able to execute them all at once without being stressed or without being seen as someone who is overdoing it. So that's basically the things I would love to do. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you very much, TM Chinelo. That was a laudable performance. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much to all our speakers this evening. You have actually or let me say you have actually given your speech in a very laudable way. Thank you so much.
Toastmasters.
Yes, sir.
Toastmasters, please, sorry, but I think we can still take 1 or 2 questions because one of the speakers won't be giving one of the prepared speech givers won't be giving her speech. So I think we can still take 1 or 2 questions more so we can engage our guests. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for that, sir. Yes, I will want to call on, let me see, drum rolling, drum rolling, drum rolling. Okay, please, if you are here, kindly unmute your microphone. If you are a Toastmaster, let me know. Damilola Akinyemi, right? Damilola Akinyemi, please kindly unmute your device. Okay. And feel free to take my topic. Are you here?
Good evening, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening. Are you a guest or a Toastmaster?
I'm a guest. This is my second time here.
Oh, of coming to the meeting.
Yes, sir.
We are glad to have you. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for joining us today. Okay,
Thank
please Question 5 taken, question 4 taken, and question 3, I think, taken. And we have question 1 and 2. So
Let
you
me
have
go.
with
One.
question 1. Okay, thank you so much. So,
Yes.
sorry, I didn't get that. Now, here's the question. What is the best piece of advice you have ever been given?
Okay, sir.
The virtual lectern is yours. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Because for me speaking this evening is very publicly. Even by this day, it's like the first time I came, I was very happy. And this evening, thank you. Let me go. What is the best piece of advice? Start with the best piece of advice I've been given is to just be myself, to be able to do things. I think the best piece of advice is to be positive about myself that I can do it. Because sometimes the kind of person I am, maybe because of this, that's why I enrolled in a public speaking class. Because crowd, even by mere seeing crowd, my mind, I will be even if I'm a medical doctor, I will be able to read my heartbeat, just be going up and down. But one is my sister that advised me that yes, just be positive about everything. Don't say you can't do it. If you say you can't do it, you will never be able to do it. But just clear your mind. Say it out. The person told me, Dami, you can do it. Don't ever think you cannot do it, because I'll be thinking, they will tell me, those that have been doing it, do they have two heads? Do they have two? You are the same. But don't think, how will I say this? How will I say that? Be positive about yourself. That is the best advice I've ever been given, and I'm very glad about it, because today, for me even to be speaking here is a great deal for me. Because I will say this now, like what was the man called? The man that said we should be using laudable. The effort, even by me speaking today, sir, but for you, by calling me to speak, I think, and the way I spoke this evening, I can say, is worthy of praise. Because I'm a kind of person that if I'm called, because if you don't call me, I won't unmute my, what's it called, button. But for you to call me, and I have the courage to able to speak out, I'm very glad about it. So that's the best advice, because I've been told be positive. You can do it. Don't say you can't do it. Because for last, I think it was 2 weeks ago when we were having our sister class, one of my sisters in church told us that she made an example that a sister that was not able to communicate at all, and she sat her down that what you can do is just try your best and you will see that you will excel. And she told us that till today, that lady has been able to speak, to communicate wherever she's called upon to speak to people. So that is the best advice ever, that I should be positive. Whatever I intend to do, I should do it. I should not be afraid of anything. So thank you so much for calling me. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
That was a very laudable performance. You actually spoke your mind, and sincerely, it was a very great Well done. Well done. Well done. Our guest, thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Let me pick on my last speaker so we can move to the next event. Let me see. I'd like to call on Kolade. I can see the name Kolade.
Yes, thank you very much. Good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome. Please, are you a guest or a
Yes, I'm a
Toastmaster?
guest. Thank you.
A guest. Okay. Oh, sorry. Someone is raising the hand. Please, if time permits us, I will definitely call you. That is Gloria Ogudu. No problem. Please, so you said you are a guest, right?
Yes, I'm a guest.
You are welcome to our midst, and we're happy to have you. First time here, right? Please, can you hear me?
Yes, there's some interferences in the background.
Yeah. I said, are you a first time guest?
Yes, sir. I'm a first time guest, sir.
Okay. We're happy to have you here. Please, we
Thank you.
have one question, but I might be forced to generate one more question if time permits us. But for now, we have question 2 left.
Okay.
And here is question 2. How do you think artificial intelligence will affect our lives in the next 10 years? How do you think artificial intelligence will affect our lives in the next 10 years? You have the virtual lecture.
Thank you very much, everyone. Good evening once again. And it's an honor to be in your midst and to be a guest at this meeting. In the next 10 years, I believe that artificial intelligence is going to be a great deal. Being that we are currently in the computer world, and most of things that happen around us is determined by progresses that have been made in telecommunications, in ICT. I believe that a couple of years back, some technological advances were not yet available. And of course, when they talk about how far technology is going to impact our world today, I'm sure a good number of us, a lot of us wouldn't believe how much of impact the advancements in technology would make in our lives. Particularly artificial intelligence currently now seems to be the end thing that determines most of the processes, including in medicine, in research, even in content creation, and even in writing. It is possible for someone to be given a topic to come and deliver here today, and they could have probably used artificial intelligence to develop the content of that topic. Of course, this is not something that could possibly be obtainable a couple of years back. Laudably as well, actually seen situations where people use artificial intelligence during live interviews. I mean, it's possible for someone to be speaking today and they'll be using artificial intelligence to actually get some prompts as to how they can make a reply to questions. Anyway, not to make you feel panicky, I'm not using artificial intelligence currently to answer your questions. Yeah, so I believe that artificial intelligence has actually taken a lot of people's jobs all around the world. There are a lot of work processes that have become automated by the use of artificial intelligence, which I think has greatly impacted our world positively. On the flip side of it, I also believe that there could be some negatives that could happen when artificial intelligence eventually becomes more popular, more grounded, and more acceptable. I do not really have examples of how the negatives would affect us, but I believe that it has some negatives as well. But positively, I think that artificial intelligence is going to really impact our world in ways that we really cannot imagine. I mean, it can affect the economy the more, can affect even learning. I realized recently that a lot of young students, tend to have very, very high grades. And I believe they have artificial intelligence as a tool to study better. So I think that in the next 10 years and even beyond, the role that artificial intelligence will play in our lives cannot really be understood, cannot really be phantomed until the time is ripe. So I want to implore each and every one of us to see how we can apply ourselves to be ready for the unforeseeable future of artificial intelligence taking over our world. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you very much for that laudable performance. That was a very great speech. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, our guest. Okay, I think at this point, I can see 3 hands up. I can see your hands. I am not really sure if we can still take more questions, but I would like to confirm from the Toastmaster of the day.
Since you've already promised one more person, I think we should just go ahead and
okay.
just
thank you so much. Oh, so who do I choose now? I have Mrs. Stella Obasi and Gloria Ogudu. Let me see. Okay, let me choose first come first serve. Gloria Ogudu came first. Mrs. Stella Obasi. Sincere apologies. So Gloria Ogudu, please unmute your device. Wow. Good evening. You are still muted. Can you unmute your device? Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I can.
Toastmaster. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
are you
my
a
name
guest
is Gloria.
on Toastmaster?
Yes, I am a guest on Teams on this platform.
Okay, you are welcome. We're happy to
Thank
see
you
you,
very
and
much.
we're happy to
Thank
welcome you
you.
here. Yes. I would like to give a question from my mind. If you are to invent a device today in the world, if you are to invent a device to solve a problem today in the world, what will the device be and what will be the function? Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you once again for the opportunity to be here. It's a very laudable platform to build and to develop my communication skills. Okay, the question is, if I am to develop a device, what kind of device it is I will develop? Yeah. To think that with the advent of technology, AI, and all that is going on, there's so much already going on in the world. Thinking of a platform that I can come up with to help better the lives of people, I would just narrow it to develop a platform where agricultural products can have better value. What do I mean? I am a very passionate person when it has to do with farming, and I stay around farmers and I see how they put in so much energy to plant their crops. Then post-harvest is another thing. They really have good value for the effort. So what will I do? I'll create a platform where I can connect farmers with off-takers so that they can, once these products are readily available, the off-takers will be aware to bridge the gap between the demand and the supply. Because like in Nigeria, most of these agricultural products, there are people looking for them. They don't know where to get them. And down like in my village, you have, once the crops are in season, they are all over the place. The farmer just want to sell and eat. I'll find a way to create a platform where I can connect both buyers and sellers. That is the solution I would prefer, and I believe this will help to improve the lot of the economy. One, for the farmers, it will encourage them to keep farming, to see farming like something that is a worthwhile venture, and to the off-takers to continue in their business, knowing that there's a sure source of supply to whatever they are. That they require to remain in business. That is the solution. It's a very laudable platform for me to grow.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our guests. We really, really appreciate that. And that was a very, very laudable speech. Thank you. You have actually spoken well. Now, I will want to say this, that every great speaker once started as a bad speaker. It is your platform. It is our platform, and it is the world's platform to keep learning, growing, and speak well. At this point, I'd like to hand over or relinquish the virtual lectern to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much. Till I come your way next time. Bye. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Thank you so much, our table topics master, Toastmaster Taiwo, that I absolutely enjoyed your session. Please let's go to the chat box again. For every speaker who's graced the virtual lectern, let's go to the chat box and let's appreciate them. Let's encourage them. Like we often say, kind words do not cost much, but yeah, they accomplish much. And we heard one of the speakers said that, being able to speak on this platform is a laudable feat for her. So please go to the chat box and let's appreciate the speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we're moving right to the next segment. We're going to have the table topics evaluation right after our only speech. We only have one prepared speech for today's meeting. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time.
Please hold on. I don't know if the timer can give his report for the table topics, those that are eligible for voting.
Okay, that's fine.
Before the speeches.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Timer, thank you so much, Mrs. Madam General Evaluator. Mr. Timer, please can you provide us with the timer's report for our 6 speakers? Tell us how they fared.
Most definitely. Our speakers have spoken so laudably, and it's been a pleasure listening to them and also timing them. However, I would like to point out that most of our guests maybe didn't pay attention or listen to the timing rules for the table topics, and understandable because they are guests. So I guess we can always just cut them some slack. So for the table topics, we had 6 table topic speakers. And the first table topic speaker was the very well experienced Toastmaster Equichi James Joy. And she spoke for 1 minute 49 seconds. So she's very well on time. Aspiring Toastmaster Bassi, I hope I got your name right. Yes, aspiring Toastmaster Bassi spoke for 2 minutes 59 seconds. So he went over time, unfortunately. Toastmaster Chinelo also showed us her experience with her laudable response to the table topics question that she was asked and spoke for 1 minute 26 seconds, making her to be very well on time. Aspiring Toastmaster Damilola spoke for 3 minutes 45 seconds, a very laudable attempt. However, she went over time. Aspiring Toastmaster Kolade also spoke for 3 minutes 30 seconds, and while he made a very laudable contribution, he also went over time. Aspiring Toastmaster Gloria as well spoke for 3 minutes 5 seconds and went over time. Here are the timers reports. Thank you, and back to you, the general evaluator.
Right, Toastmaster Korede.
I'm really sorry.
Right,
I
go
just
ahead.
want to confirm if you can see the timers card that I'm showing on my background. I'm trying to show the green right now. Is it showing? Can you see it on your
Yes,
end?
yeah, here it is. It is.
Okay, red and yellow. Are we good?
Absolutely.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
we're
Yeah,
good.
thank you. Okay.
Very laudable. Thank you so much, delectable timer. That was a laudable performance, laudable presentation. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, the moment has come for us to listen to our official Toastmasters speak. This is what I call the arena where people come to express themselves, communicate with words, and change lives. We have, interestingly, because we got information that one of the speakers is still on the road and she may not be able to give a speech. So that leaves us with just one speaker. However, I strongly believe that we're going to be impacted by our speech. Toastmaster Chinelo Elizabeth. Okay. We have Toastmaster Chinelo Elizabeth Ikalia. Permit me if I butchered your surname, please permit me. She will be our only speaker. Before I introduce her to the house, I'd love to introduce our speech evaluator, because for every speech here that is given, we always have an evaluator to evaluate or give them their constructive feedback. And we have a veteran in the house, someone I hold in high regards, someone I can call a mentor of mentors. She's my personal person and my mentor. And she is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Stella Odunwa. To be a distinguished Toastmaster is to have gotten to the apex or the heights of Toastmasters. And this woman is a retired human resource management executive. She's a wellness and entrepreneurship coach, and she has served in various capacities, including the past being the past division director of Division F, and our hobbies include traveling and meeting people. Let me add that she also enjoys evaluation, because our evaluations are always critical. So, ladies and gentlemen, please let's warmly welcome our speech evaluator, DTM Stella Odunwa. Over to you, ma.
Good evening, the Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our esteemed guests. In evaluating Toastmaster Chinelo's speech, I will be watching out for her ability to introduce herself to the club and to all present, and the laudable hope that she has learned the basic structure of a public speaker. So I urge all of us to join in evaluating her to know whether she has duly introduced herself and also knows what the structure of a good speech is like. I wish you the very best. Toastmaster Chinelo, and she is speaking on the topic, retaining the original thoughts. She will do this for 4 to 6 minutes. Over to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
All right, this year, Stella Odunwa, thank you so much for giving up the speech objectives of our speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, the moment has come for us to unveil our only speaker for today. So, who is our speaker? Her name is Toastmaster Chinelo Elizabeth, and she is a senior risk management and control specialist. She enjoys reading, exploring, and trying out new meals. That's interesting. And also creating meaningful moments with our loved ones. Our favorite quote says, to give so much time to improving yourself that you have no time to criticize others. Ladies and gentlemen, our arena is ready. You, the audience, are ready to listen, and the silence is waiting. And somewhere behind the curtain stands an orator, ready to step into this arena of words. Interestingly, this evening, there will be no swords, no shields, no hammer, only words. And in the hands of this skilled orator, words can be much more powerful than even weapons. So, ladies and gentlemen, with your attention fixed now on the arena, let's make welcome our only speaker, a laudable one for that matter, Toastmaster Chinelo Elizabeth. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster, for the warm welcome. I don't know, can you see my screen? My video is turned on. Can you see me?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
I'll go straight to it. I have 2 questions for you today. How many of the opinions you hold today are truly yours? Have you ever agreed with someone not because you were convinced, but because it was easier than questioning them? Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. We live in a world where information travels faster than ever before. Sometimes I wonder, are we thinking more or we are simply consuming more? That is why I have titled my speech today, Retaining Original Thoughts. This was inspired by an article I saw on Substack. Before you is Chinelo Ikalia. I grew up loving numbers, and naturally that led me to study accounting at Obafemi Awolowo University. Today, I am a chartered accountant and a senior risk specialist working in an oil and gas company. I'm also happily married. But beyond my career, one thing has always been part of who I am. I ask questions like, why? What evidence support this? Sometimes people think I asked a lot of questions, but simply I believe that curiosity is one of the ways to learn. And that brings me to today's topic. How do we retain original thought in a world that is constantly telling us what to think or believe? Here's my first point. We are constantly influenced. I'm sure you can all agree with me. Every day, we are surrounded by different opinions. Social media shapes what we admire. News influences what we believe. Algorithms even decide what we see. And sometimes repeated information starts to feel like truth. Growing up, I repeatedly heard that phrase that JAMB was very difficult. The almighty JAMB. That no matter how much people studied, they would still fail. My mother, wanting to help me, registered me in a center where I was promised answers on the day of the exam. But being young and naive, I went along. But something interesting happened. I'm sure you must have been thinking about it. Yes, I failed woefully. The failure made me question the belief I'd accepted. I decided then to study properly, gave it my all, and on my second attempt, I passed and I got my admission. Looking back, I realized one thing. I had accepted someone else's fear as my own reality. But recognizing that we are easily influenced is just the first step. The next challenge is the courage to question that influence. And here's my second point. Original thinking requires courage to speak up. With my audit background, one of the first concepts we are taught is professional skepticism. And what that means is not accepting information at face value, but seeking evidence before reaching a conclusion. I soon realized that this principle wasn't just useful in auditing, it was also useful in real life. When I started my career, I joined a consulting firm as a graduate trainee. I had interviewed for an audit role, but I was placed in a different department. Well, I gave it my fair chance for 2 years, and I knew deep down I still wanted to be an auditor. I'd approached the HR, and he said that it was not possible because people had come for this request and they were never granted. But I requested to speak to the audit partner at the time because I knew why I applied for this role in the beginning. And she said she admired my courage to speak up, even though people would not have approached her to ask for the same thing. And within months, I got what I wanted. That experience taught me something. Thinking differently is one thing. Having the courage to stand behind your thinking is another. And perhaps that is why I'm here today. Sometimes I know exactly what I want to say, but I hesitate and say, what if I'm wrong? What if people don't agree? What if I don't say it perfectly? And really, Toastmaster is helping me to practice something very simple, trusting my thoughts enough to give it a voice. And in conclusion, today I have shared 2 ideas that have shaped the way I think. First being, we are constantly influenced and we need to pause, question what we accept as truth. Secondly, thinking independently requires courage. I mean the courage to speak up and stand behind what we believe. So the next time someone says something like this to you, well, everyone is doing it. Would you pause and ask yourself, do I really believe this because I've thought about it? Or will you simply go along because you've heard it enough times? Because original thinking isn't about disagreeing with everyone. It is about the courage to think before you follow. And that's my icebreaker speech for today. Thank you very much.
Wow. Woo! Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, isn't that fantastic? Isn't that laudable? Please let's go to the chat box and appreciate our wonderful, laudable speaker, Toastmaster Chinelo. Thank you so much for that laudable speech. Sincerely, you've challenged our mindsets. Yes, you've done that. You challenged our mindset because you had some powerful statements that I think are worth reflecting on. We are constantly influenced, whether we know it or not, consciously or unconsciously. Curiosity is one of the ways to learn, and repeated information can feel like truth. Thank you so much. That was laudable. That was absolutely phenomenal. Please let's go to the chat box and encourage. This is our first speech in our Toastmasters journey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of the second segment, and we're now going to delve into the final segment. While we wait for our speech evaluator to wrap up the evaluation of our speech, we'll now call on the table topics. We will now call on the table topics evaluator to give us the evaluation of all the table topics speakers. And who is our table topics evaluator? Another wonderful gentleman is none other than Toastmaster Engineer Adebolu Adesonya. He is a public servant, actually is the Senior Deputy Registrar, and a club member of this prestigious club, Tutors and Trainers Club. He enjoys learning new things, reading about historical figures and icons, and partaking in community development activities. His favorite quote says, "Good luck is when preparedness meets opportunity." That's an adaptation from his mother's regular refrain as a life lessons to them as children. I think that was a quote, or that was the word that his mother used to tell him. Just like we always have our mothers use one phrase or the other. Ladies and gentlemen, with a virtual round of applause, let's make welcome our table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Ade Adebola Adebolu Ade Sonia. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very kindly, Chair Moody. My name is Adebolu Adesanya. Chair Moody, distinguished guests, distinguished Toastmasters, our guests. It has been said variously on this call that feedback is the food of the champions. And I'm here to provide feedback to the table topic section. And I want to tell you that table topic session is a session that I look forward to because it provides opportunity for me to think offhand, unprepared. And I believe that that is a very great session. TMOD, I'm glad to report to you that this session was a wonderful one. The table topic master mastered the session very well, effectively. All the questions were well crafted. They were simple and straight to the point. And our respondents, they did very well. The first respondent, Janet TM, pardon me, I can't pronounce the first name. The question was, if you can master any skill overnight, what will it be? TM Janet showed the master in her by her intro. She repeated the question and she went on to tell us that she would like to be a social media influencer. And one very laudable aspect of her speech was the vocal variety and voice. She emphasized the words as she needed to do. I find it difficult to spot any error or any weakness in her speech, except that I would recommend that there is always room for improvement. Our guest, Basi, the question was, what will you change about our school system? It's a guess, but she's showing elements of skillfulness. His responses were masterful too and very laudable. In fact, I can sense element of vocal variety in him too, especially when he tried to emphasize what are they teaching them, and she called on the rest of us to join the advocacy. The only small weakness I saw in his response was that his responses were not structured. He was going cyclic, that is, from one point to another and back to another point. It's rather you finish a point or you stick to a point rather than finish one point, go to another and come back to the other point. The next responder was Chinelo Okole. What will you do if you woke up one day with superpower? She mentioned what she would like to do. Apart from the beautiful intro too, her responses were laudable. She told us that she would like to solve problems, especially Nigerian problems, and she liked to multitask. Again, she's a guest, and so I guess that is why she could not use the word of the day. And I'm sorry, the other responders too. The first responder used the word of the day. The second responder used the word of the day. but the third responder, which is Chinelo Okele, did not use it. Then Damilola, a guess. There is one very fantastic aspect of his response, which I like. She was simple, she was sincere and emotional. And I look forward to her being a great Toastmaster in the future, and she will be a very great influencer. The network did not allow me to hear her initial responses, but towards the end, I was able to gather some of those points, even though she did not use the word of the day, but I believe going forward, she will improve. And we had Kola Day, who responded to, how do you think AI will affect our life the next 10 years? And she went on to summarize what she feels will be the effect, that is the technological effect, advancement on, she mentioned research and health. And he was able to highlight the reverse side of it, that is the pervasive side of it. Again, he failed to use the word of the day. Then Gloria, as a guest too, Gloria, she had a very beautiful intro to her own question was, if you are to invent a device, what will it be and what function? And she told us what she would like to agricultural implement and some things to solve the post-harvest problems of our farmers. She had a very good summary of what she wanted to do, but the only the downside of it is that she did not use the word of the day. She too kept going from one point to another. I hope that going forward, he will be able to streamline his points, finish one and go to another one. Thank you, the TMOD distinguished Toastmasters guests. These are the summary of my evaluation of the responders. Over to you, TMOD. Thank you very much. You are muted, TMOD.
Oh, thank you so much, sir, for that laudable feedback to the laudable speakers. Thank you so much. Thank you for that wonderful and constructive feedback. Please, can we appreciate the evaluator for his laudable feedback? Please go to the chat box, let's engage and put out some kind comments. All right, so at this juncture, we're going to call the timer. Timer, please, can you give us reports of the speech, the timing reports for the only speech we had? Toastmaster Korede, please, can you just quickly do that before we have the speech evaluation? Toastmaster Korede.
All right. Thank you very much, TMOD. For the prepared speech that we've just listened to from Toastmaster Chinelo, which happens to be an icebreaker, she spoke for 5 minutes, 44 seconds, which makes her to be very well on time. An icebreaker speech should last 4 minutes minimum and 6 minutes maximum. So she did very well with time. Thank you, and over to you, the TMOD.
All right, thank you so much, our delectable timer. Before we proceed, may I seek permission from the president, please, because of time, can we just delay, can we postpone the introduction or acknowledgement of our guests till the end of the meeting so you can facilitate that session, please? All right, I can see your thumbs up. Thank you so much, Madam President. So we'll proceed now to the feedback or the evaluation reports of our only speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome our veteran, distinguished Toastmaster, Stella Odunwa. Over to you, ma.
Good evening, TMOD. I believe that this section should be handled by the general evaluator.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Are you doubling for both?
No, I'm just following the agenda, actually. I'm following the agenda.
Yeah, no. The
All
table
right, so
topic segment, evaluation segment, will be rightfully done by.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. All right, so at this juncture, it is time for me to relinquish control to the general evaluator. As we all know, and no matter how big your eyeballs are, they cannot see the back of your head. And that's why we have the general evaluator along with her team who are going to be providing us constructive, laudable feedback. So ladies and gentlemen, may I reintroduce our general evaluator, Toastmaster Chika. Please over to you. All right.
Thank you, our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Tosin, for doing an excellent job so far. We are back. I am back as the general evaluator, and this is the segment where we provide feedback, positive feedback that will help us grow, get better, and become better communicators. I would love to introduce my tag team, but before I call my tag team up, I would love to welcome back on the virtual space our first evaluator to evaluate the speaker, and that is no other person than DTM Stella Odunwa. Over to you, Ma.
Thank you very much, the general evaluator. Thank you so much, our laudable TMOD, for everything. Please let me evaluate Toastmaster Chinelo directly. She spoke on the topic retaining the original thought, a very laudable topic, and I quite enjoyed her presentation. I found the content of her speech very rich as she knew her audience from A to Z. She opened with a question which called all of us into her core message, and the message was direct. How are you having your thoughts, and whose thoughts are you carrying? The opening was humorous as I saw her laughing, and there was humor in her presentation. I also laughed with her. What would I like to recommend to Toastmaster Chinelo to make her speech to take it to a higher level? I would have loved that she positioned herself better so that at least from the knees upwards were visible. That way, and I would have even loved for her to be totally visible so that I look at the various nuances of her body speaking and her movement as well, stage views and all of that. As it was, I could only deduce from the half or the bust image that I got that she was standing or possibly she was sitting. If she was standing, that was beautiful because armchair speakers don't necessarily make the best of speakers. When you stand, everything about you is poised towards your speaking, and you're able to use your stage better. You're also able to use your body better, and your visibility will make your speech more relatable to us. I also noticed that while she was speaking, the speech appeared rushed and cramped. Because of that, I looked for purposeful pauses I didn't find. I looked for transitions I could not find. So I would recommend that you move away from really that is too much cramming and instead internalize more of the key topics that you want to talk about, key sentences, key words, and use them to weave around your message. And also use meaningful pauses to let us have your message sink in before you go on to another idea. Your speech could improve more on eye contact. As it was, even though you were looking at the camera, That was more or less about it. I would have loved to see you. Make sure you carry along all sides of the room. I also noticed that there was, when you said in conclusion, there was a phrase where you said in conclusion. I would recommend, don't say in conclusion, just give us your conclusion. Just conclude without putting in phrases that don't necessarily improve your message. Just say, just conclude. And from the way you conclude, you will know that you are concluding. Avoid your hands covering your face when you are demonstrating because it takes away from your message of control and knowing what you want to do. Include transitions, as I said, in your message. Let's know when you move from your introduction to the body of your presentation and then to your conclusion. On the whole, I must commend you because this speech didn't look like an icebreaker speech. It was beautiful. Your voice was audible and laudable, and your voice was melodious and very pleasant to listen to. You had great gestures, so your speech, other than the fact that it covered your face, your gestures were good, and you had a good topic and well articulated content. You presented it beautifully and we quite enjoyed it. You told us about yourself and the areas that shaped or the experiences that shaped your life. I would have loved to hear more about your family and everything, but then you still, in a way, merged us getting to know you as well as your core message. So I give it to you, Toastmaster Chinwe. Please let's give her a beautiful round of applause. The general evaluator.
Thank you, most kindly DTM Stella Oduma, for your evaluations. Thank you. I'll be moving on to my tag team, who will come back to the virtual lesson to give their feedback. And the first person I would love to welcome on my tag team is our listening or quiz master, Toastmaster Hannah Afolabi, to give her feedback. Over to you, our listening evaluator. Over to you. Is she on call? Do I call the next person?
Please, she just exited the meeting. She would share her questions, so I'll take over from her. After. Okay, so she's Toastmaster Anna, the listening evaluator, has shared her questions. So I would proceed to take over that role.
All right. Over to you.
Thank you. What day and month is Toastmaster Ewuchi's birthday? You can share, you can raise your virtual hands or chorus. You can turn on your
I think October 5th.
Fantastic. Who said that? Who?
I did.
I did. Okay.
Moses.
Moses. Oh, fantastic. Thank you. That was correct. The next question is, what is the name of Toastmaster Chinelo's university?
Obafemi Awolowo University.
Fantastic. I can see we were all listening. OAU.
Because I'm great Ife too, so I can.
Great Ife. Wonderful. Another question. What role was Toastmaster Chinelo hoping for?
Auditor.
Oh! I see we're all listening. And that will be all for the questions from Toastmaster Anna. I see we're all listening, and it's over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Susan, for that report. Thank you very kindly. And I would love to invite the next person on my tag team, our grammarian, Toastmaster Moses. Over to you for your report.
Thank you so much, our general evaluator.
Thank you.
I would say this was a laudable meeting. Please allow me to give my grammarian report of our laudable performances. I would start with how we use the word of the day. I would say if we were to give 1,000 naira, TM Anna would get 1,000 naira. Our Toastmaster of the day used the word of the day 12 times, laudable. He would get 12,000 naira. TM Dada used the word of the day 6 times. TM James used the word of the day twice. Intending TM Kolade used the word of the day once. Intending TM Gloria Ogudu used the word of the day twice. TM Korede, who is our timer, used the word of the day 3 times. DTM Stella Odunwa used the word of the day 4 times. Please allow me to give, I would want to just speak on a distinct use of the language. Our Toastmaster of the day said, and I quote, "An orator ready to stand in the shield of words." This was an outstanding statement made by him. TM Adesonya Adebolu used the word of the day, who was our table topics evaluator, used the word of the day 3 times. Next year, the corrections I have on the use of language, and I would say we did well, but specifically just a couple of things I just would like us to just take note of next time. TM Adesonya Adebolu, you said specifically she failed to highlight the pervasive side of it. So it's actually pervasive, not pervasive. You also said, what are they teaching them? I could understand just maybe our accent, right? So it's actually what are they teaching them? But so far, I would say we did well, or we did laudably well. And thank you, everyone. That's all for my grammarian report. Over to you, our general evaluator, TM Fika Izianya.
Thank you, grammarian, for your report. I would love to invite the next person on my tag team, who is our accountant, Toastmaster Christian Okoro. Over to you to give your report.
Okay, thank you very kindly, General Evaluator TM Chika.
Thank you.
We're all laudable during the speech, both the Toastmasters and the intending Toastmasters. So we have few speakers that use the final words, use 2 final words. So why Damilona or use 2 final sounds too? Why Kolade use 5 final sounds? Loya use 3 final sounds and 2 repetitive words. TMT Lulu during her speech used only 1 final sound. Why TM Adebolu during his evaluation used twice. So that's all for our campaign reports. Thank you all.
Thank you, our accountant, for your report. Thank you. And the last person I would love to call on my tag team is our timer. He will come back to the virtual lesson to give his report. Toastmaster Kurudi, over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you.
So I have already given my timers report for the table topics segment and for the prepared speech. And we've been doing very well on time, and we've been very, very flexible in the use of our time, making the best use of the time, the extra time that we had from the speakers that canceled. To further give other reports for the evaluations of the table topics, I decided to add a little bit more time. The evaluations should be for 3 to 5 minutes, but I decided to make it 5 to 7 minutes because we had 6 table topic speakers. So Toastmaster Adebolo Adesanya used a total of 6 minutes 44 seconds to deliver very laudable evaluations for the table topic segment, which I think was quite laudable, yes. For the prepared speech given by TM, Toastmaster Chinelo, she used a total of 5 minutes 44 seconds, and her evaluator, the distinguished Toastmaster Stella Odunwa, also presented her evaluations in 5 minutes 6 seconds, which was very good on time. And that is all from me. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful opportunity timing this meeting, and it's back to you.
Thank you, Timer, for your report, and a big thank you to our tag teams. I would love to give my general report before I hand back to the Toastmaster of the day. When I stepped into this meeting, I stepped in 3 minutes to the start of the meeting. I saw about 5 persons on call, and I was hoping we could see more. But however, everyone will agree with me that everything about today's meeting was laudable. I also appreciate the organizers of the meeting. I saw the agenda quite on time, and every update done on the agenda, it was also quite on time. I want to also commend the president of the club, Toastmaster Tosin, and the TMUD. When they started this meeting, it was very energetic. I love how they informed people about the virtual space, how they encourage us to use the emoticons and the chat box to include the word of the day. That was very lovely to see. I also want to commend us, even though we started 1 minute late, it was still fair enough. We started the meeting around 4:01. That was commendable as well. I want to appreciate everyone that showed up in this meeting. Remember, I said we saw 5 persons at the onset of the meeting. Midway of the meeting, I checked. I saw 34 persons, and thereafter, I saw 48 persons on call. That's very commendable. I think the president and the vice president, the VPPR of the club, that is public relation, I think they are doing so well in inviting people to join Toastmasters. That's very, very commendable. I also want to commend the guests that participated in the table topics. It was so beautiful to see guests showing up willingly for the table topics. The table topics master, I also want to make a shout out to you. Your questions were very relatable. It was easy to answer that even though you give someone those questions, they will be able to answer it in more than 2 minutes because the question was quite relatable. What else do I also want to comment? Yes, I want to make a special shout out to Glory, one of our guest speaker for the table topics. I saw when she mentioned on the chat box that I want to try to speak. And at the end of the day, she still showed up and she spoke. Well done, Toastmaster Glory. That was a great job. I enjoyed my stay in today's meeting. I also, even when we have commendations, we also have recommendations. And that's one thing in Toastmaster that helps us, this feedback that helps us become better. For number 1 recommendation, that's on our camera. I noticed that most of us in today's meeting, we didn't turn on our camera. I know it's a virtual meeting. Maybe we're trying to save data, or I don't know our reasons. But one thing that helps us, when you turn on your camera, it creates that sense of audience engagement. For instance, now in the table topics, I noticed that most speakers did not turn on their cameras to speak. We could not feel their hand gestures, their body movement, or their body language. So please, let's all encourage ourselves. Let's all ensure that we turn on the camera. Secondly, another recommendation I would love to give is on the agenda. Even though the agenda was beautiful, I love how the theme of the meeting was inclusive in the agenda, the word of the day. One thing I can plead with the club, or one recommendation I can give to the club, is when you put the word of the day, please, you can as well put the meaning, so that when someone sees the word of the day, the person can also understand the meaning of that word of the day. Special shout out to the grammarian for your choice of word. It was relatable and easy to use, audible, very, very relatable. And another recommendation is for myself and the timer. I noticed that the timer did not show his timing cards at most point of the meeting. And this feedback is also for myself, because as a general evaluator, we're supposed to confirm that speakers understand their roles, and whenever they show up in a meeting to take up their roles, they already know what to do. So next time, the timer and myself, we should ensure that we show our timing cards, because I'm so certain that I believe that's why for the table topic segment, speakers were speaking above their allotted time, because they didn't know what the timing was about, and they didn't know how far they have spent, I meant to say. Overall, the meeting was fantastic today. I enjoyed my stay in Tutors and Trainers, and I want to commend everyone that showed up. And finally, I also want to say, please, let's keep showing up, even role players. Let's ensure that we show up on time. We show up on time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it is back to you, our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Tosin, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Auditor General. Thank you for that laudable report.
Thank you.
Please go to the chat box and let us appreciate all the evaluators for their laudable reports. Our grammarian said, and I quote, he said he's owing me 12,000 naira for the 12 times that I used the word of the day. I've used it another 3 times now. So ladies and gentlemen, please, when I hold him to ransom, please note that he committed himself. Anyway, thank you so much for this wonderful meeting. And on this note, because of time, we're already past our closing time. I'd love to thank everyone. As your pilots, it's been a wonderful, journey, and sincerely, I've enjoyed myself in the process. As I relinquish control, I'd love to leave you with a very profound quote that I stumbled on, and it says, "If you try, you may win, and you may as well lose, but the chances of winning will be there. But if you never try, you've already guaranteed your loss." So in the pursuit of rising above our limits, let us keep trying. Let us keep trying. Thank you so much. It's been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to serve as your Toastmaster of the day. And on this note, I'd love to relinquish control to the numero uno of this wonderful, fantastic, illustrious club, the Tutors and Trainers Toastmasters Club, President Toastmaster Tosin Akinbody. Thank you so much, and it's over to you.
Thank you to the Toastmaster of the day, the role players, speakers, our guests. It is a pleasure to have you at today's meeting. We hereby bring the meeting to a close. Our next meeting would hold August 23rd. I look forward to seeing everyone at that meeting. I would hand it over to the Vice President membership to engage with our guests. Toastmaster Korede, over to you.
Thank you very kindly, Madam President. This has been a laudable meeting. We've had so much fun. We've learned a lot from the introduction of the role players, the TMOD, the general evaluator, to the table topics segment and evaluations and the prepared speeches. It has been an amazing time, and I'm sure each and every one of us has enjoyed and learnt one or two things from the meeting today. I believe so very strongly. Now it's time for us to meet our guests and to get to know who you are, where you're joining in from, and what your purpose is for joining Toastmasters International. So if you're a guest here on the call, kindly just signify by raise of hand. You can use the emoticon to react and just raise your hand so that we can meet you. We would love the opportunity to meet each one of our guests. I'm very impressed that at 6:06 p.m., there are still more than 30 of us here on the call, and I'm sure that we have a good number of guests here. Okay, Simon Akule, please correct me if I'm saying your name wrong. Kindly unmute yourself and introduce yourself to us. We would like to meet you. Where are you calling from? What do you do? And is this your first time joining us at Tutors and Trainers Toastmasters Club? Just tell us everything that you feel to share.
Yes, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Simon Telumo Akule. I'm joining you from Abuja, and I'm a first timer. To be precise, I am a cybersecurity expert, and also I have I've enrolled into this program to also be part of the public speaking, and the reason why I'm here this evening is based on the invitation. And I want to really thank every speaker of the day, and all that has been done today is very, very inspiring. And I also wish to continue to be one part of you as the times goes on. On this note, I wish to thank the producer and every one of you here today. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for joining this meeting on invitation. It's very impressive that someone invited you and you decided to actually take out of your wonderful Sunday afternoon to join us at Tutors and Trainers Toastmasters Club. So we're very happy to have you, and we look forward to welcoming you next time. And we look forward to you joining Tutors and Trainers Toastmasters Club as a member so you can enjoy all the benefits that we already enjoy and that you've already seen today at the club meeting. Thank you very much to aspiring Toastmaster Simon. I will drop my phone number in the chat box so that you can send me a message. All the guests here on the call can send me a message on WhatsApp, and I will add you to the group chats for aspiring Toastmasters where we can further engage each other and answer any questions that you might have. So I've just dropped my phone number in the chat box. All right. I also see aspiring Toastmaster Basi. He says he's a first timer. Please, the virtual lectern is yours. Please introduce yourself. Tell us where you're calling in from. What's your experience at the meeting been like today? And share anything that you'd like. And if you also have a question, would be very excited to answer your question.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Basi Duningwe. I'm linking up from Abuja. I'm a businessman. First of all, thank you for the opportunity given to me to also introduce myself. This platform, in short, I'm very happy to be here. I was invited based on invitation of our Toastmaster of the day, Mr. Tosi, and just finished a section class with him. So I'm here to continue as well to also learn more and be encouraged more. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, aspiring Toastmaster Basi, for joining the meeting all the way from Abuja. It's been a pleasure hosting you today and having you on the call. And a very big thank you to our TMO, the Toastmaster Tosin, for inviting you. It's very, very great to have you join us, and we look forward to engaging with you further. A very important note. Madam President, the president of our club has just dropped a link to the WhatsApp group for aspiring members to join. So you can just join that group and then we will be able to engage with you better on the group and ask questions. You can ask questions there and we can answer your questions and guide you on how to become a member of 2000 Trainers Toastmasters Club. All right. Thank you very much for introducing yourself, Toastmasters Basi and Toastmaster Simon. Do we have any other new member who would like to introduce themselves? Or if anyone wants to just share how they feel about the meeting today? We'll be
Yes,
very
I am
happy to
new.
hear. Okay, who is this speaking?
I am Choma.
All right. Please go ahead,
I
aspiring
just
Toastmaster.
joined. I just joined. I didn't participate in the teaching. I just joined now.
Right.
So from what you are saying and people introducing themselves, I've been able to capture one of the voices that I think the last person that introduced himself, we were both in Mr. Tosin's class, the just concluded class. So I am joining from Lagos. My name is Chom. I am a business person. I just finished a class with Mr. Tosin, and he promised to link us to this particular group. So I think I slept off. I came back very late from church. I slept off. So when I remember, he said the meeting will be starting by 4. I quickly rushed to my phone. On getting here, I noticed that the class has ended or the meeting has ended. But I captured that introduction we are going on. I said, let me identify myself with you.
Well, that's amazing. It's very, very wonderful that you are able to make it here, even though you slept off. I mean, Sunday afternoons are, very good time to, take a very beautiful beauty nap, right? I also enjoy taking a nap on Sunday afternoons after I've eaten pounded yam and egusi soup. So it's wonderful to have you join us. Thank you very much for joining us today,
Thank you.
and we look forward to seeing you again next
Thank
time in
you.
2 weeks' time on the 23rd of August, same time, 4
Okay.
p.m. Please join the
Okay.
WhatsApp group that has been posted in the chat box so we can engage with you further.
No problem, I will.
Thank you very much. I also see aspiring Toastmaster caller day hands raised. You can go ahead and unmute yourself to introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Tugafar Kolade, and I want to appreciate the club for inviting me. I got an invite from the president of the club, that's Toastmaster Tosin Akinbode. I got an email invite for the last meeting, but I think I forgot. But this time around, I tried to set a reminder to not forget to join the meeting this time around. So I think I've known about Toastmasters for a long time. I think I first knew about Toastmasters sometimes some years back when the popular debate on television, that's the debaters. I think the Eagle Toastmasters in Lagos were the one that really played a lot of role in that event, seasons 1 and 2, I think, if I remember well. But I've always looked for opportunities to join Toastmasters, but I never really got the opportunity. I'm speaking from Abeokuta. I'm a medical doctor, and I was able to research recently, and I found that I could actually join virtually. So I'm really very happy to be with you, and I hope to register and be part of the club proper. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, aspiring Toastmaster Abdulgafar Kolade, and I hope I got your first name or your surname right.
Yes, thank you.
Amazing. It's very wonderful to have you join us. I'm so excited to hear that you're also a doctor. I think at some point we might have to turn Tutors and Trainers Toastmasters Club into a club exclusively for doctors. At this point, we have about 4 doctors in the club, so that's very exciting. I I am also very excited to hear that you've learned about Toastmasters for a while and you have decided to, yes, Madam President, you've decided to take the step to actually join one of our meetings. So I want to encourage you to just go further, to just take another step and actually become a member. So just go from just knowing about what Toastmasters is to becoming a member and see yourself enjoy all the benefits of being a member of Toastmasters International. And I'm sure that you will never regret that choice. So it's very good to have you. Thank you very much for introducing yourself, and we hope to see you next time as well. All right. So do we have any other guests on the call that would like to introduce themselves? I mean, this is another opportunity for you to speak. That's what we do at Toastmasters. We speak a lot, and we do this so that we can increase and improve our public speaking skills and gain more confidence. So even a simple task as introducing yourself can help you build confidence. So we'd love to hear you introduce yourself to us. Okay, I don't see any more.
Hello,
Yes, who are we hearing from?
my name is Flora Moody.
Please go
I'm
ahead.
from Ghana, and I was introduced by the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Tosin. Yes, please.
Oh, wow. All right.
And I really enjoyed today's Toastmasters session.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. Aspiring Toastmasters Flora from Benin. Did you say Benin?
Ghana.
Ghana. Okay. 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 It's very good to have you join us today, Aspiring Toastmaster Flora, and we hope that you would attend the next meeting and eventually join us here at Toastmasters. And it's something that I promise that you will never regret. Thank you very much, Aspiring Toastmaster Flora, for speaking up and for introducing yourself.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have anyone else?
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Oluwatosin Akimbola. I was invited to the group by the president, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Tosin. And I am a public servant, a deputy director, and I reside at Yenogwa. And listening to joining the group this evening has been quite inspiring and very interesting. I listened to Toastmaster Chinelo's speech, and it was icebreaker speech, and it was very, very laudable. And I would wish to know more about the group, and most likely join with time.
Excellent. It's very great to have you join us today, Aspiring Toastmaster Oluwatosin Akimbola. We are excited to have you here, and I would like to ask you a follow-up question. What motivated you to join or to want to join Toastmasters? What is your driving force? Why do you want to join?
I actually enrolled for a public speaking class with Mr. Tosin, and he spoke about the Toastmaster group a lot. And then he extended his invite, and I was curious to know what happens there. And that's why I joined today's meeting.
Wow. Toastmaster Tosin is doing the work of an evangelist. He's doing the Lord's work. and it's very laudable. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tosin, for inviting everyone to join us at 2000 Trainers Toastmasters Club today. So we look forward to seeing you in our next meeting on the 23rd of August, and we hope that you continue to have a good time here and continue to learn and grow with us. Thank you very much for joining.
You're welcome.
All right. So thank you, everyone. We are very grateful to all our guests who have made time to join us today and to engage with us even until this time. So we are very happy that you've joined. We hope that you've gained a lot of things from this meeting already, and we can't wait to see you the next time. Kindly join the WhatsApp group chat if you haven't yet. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask us on that group chat. We'll be very happy to answer your questions. Until next time, I remain Toastmaster Korede Adekoye. Have a jolly good week. Bye, everyone.